Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games and welcome back to part 13 of my United States of America campaign here in Hearts of Iron 4, The New Order. We've elected RFK, we're just waiting for Inauguration Day, I guess, and in the meantime, we're going to still see if we can get the boys home by Christmas. I think it's entirely possible. Oh, crap! Oh my god, I swear I didn't, do anything. That's the second time or was in a different campaign that, as soon as I started an episode, something happened. Any hope of a quick resolution of the South African War has been quickly dashed today as the new Führer of the Reich, Hermann Goering, has officially declared intervention, stating that this blasted aggression... Oh, no, he's fat, so it's like, this blasted aggression by the Americans and South Africans on the sovereign born people and our colonies will not go unpunished. In America, the obvious warmongering of Hermann Goering and his militaristic staff has sparked new interest in the war. With the entry of Germany into the war, it is much more clear that this war is about stopping fascism and its march to conquer the world. The president is already set to release a press statement about the escalation of war and the inevitability of inevitable American victory against the forces of fascism. The world holds its breath as the German giant has reawakened. Get Westmoreland on the line. Okay, so we gotta wrap this up quick. Let's take a look here. So they've got 1 division, they've got 5 to 7. There's going to be volunteers coming in, I'm sure. Come on, get over to Kindu. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Full speed ahead, y'all. Okay, you keep coming over here. We're going to cut off those 2 divisions that are up north. And, oh, what happened? What happened? Lag, lag, lag. Okay, are they getting volunteers now? I'm not seeing anything. We're no longer getting the effects of the African gamble. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's improve our battle tanks. Even though I don't have very many. No. Helicopters. Oh no, it's not until like 1970. Yeah, so we're just kind of, we got to deal with what we got. Excuse me. Industry. We got early industrial robotics. 12% factory output's pretty cool. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay, come on, go, fast. What are you doing? Yeah, you're going over here to Kindu. You are taking those tiles. You are coming over here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing a division somewhere. Here. Wait, yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So we've got them retreating. Excellent. That's it. The polls have been updated. Pretty sure it's already over. Senate results, elections are in. Did we not already see that? Was that a bug? Africa Shield offers a ceasefire. Our advance... Hold on. Hail to the chief, whoever it may be. Hold on. Everybody freeze for a freaking second. Now. Our advance into the German colonies in Africa goes well. Indeed, if the missive the Germans sent us today is any indication, it is going far better than expected. The Reich sent us a communique indicating that it is amenable to a ceasefire, especially one where the borders of South Africa are substantially larger than they de facto were before this conflict started. While refusing to withdraw from Angola, the Congo, or former British East Africa, this is a significant gain for the Organization of Free Nations if we decide to accept, representing our commitment to protecting members of the alliance and the valor of our soldiers. Of course, this is no total victory, and some of the more ardent warhawks insist we could push further, but a substantial portion of the government are of the opinion that we should not bite off more than we could chew. In the end, it may be worth doing the ceasefire, for what is the point of ruling the ashes of German domination? No, we will fight on. We reject the proposal, even though this might, in theory, be a good idea because Germany's about to get involved. They're offering us one again. Okay, this is probably like the 2 that are still alive both offered me it at the same time, so that's what happened there. I don't know for sure, I'm just guessing. Uh-oh, I'm actually the one who's been encircled here. I'm dealing with attrition losses. Hey, Stanleyville people, get north of the river. Oh, wait, no, actually, now supplies are going to go through. Okay, let's go up to NOLA, because that is technically a victory point. I don't know if we're going to need to take that. Yeah, come on. Get down to, no, take Dintersburg first on your way. There's so many victory points. Yeah, these are like worth 5. Some of them are, you know, they're not worth nothing. Okay, let's come over here to Kindu. There they are. Huge German tanks have entered the arena. Yep, they're both getting help. This is a problem. Okay, we just defeated Central Africa, though. Nice. Okay, so keep pushing. Yeah, I don't know what's up with those divisions now. They're just kind of in an awkward position. But let's keep moving east. Fast, fast, fast. What just happened? Tomsk unifies central Serbia. Nice glasses, dude. Alright. What's going on here? We've got our tank divisions come up here to Kaputa. They will be kaput. Okay, this is good. This is very, very good. Let's get them over here. Ah, what's going on? Like that. There we go. Will we be ever get to Duma in time? They're the only ones who are left. They've got 2 divisions. Even if the Nazis are able to send 5 like I was, they just can't cover this all. It's impossible. Oh yeah, and also their 2 division, I think that includes this one that is encircled here. No, it's not. That's the yellow. This is Central Africa. Just some remnants. Kindu is still alive, technically. That's kind of unusual. More decisions are available for us. Token withdrawals and all that. No need for any of that. Let's... You know what? What is the black market trading doing to us again? Bogged down fronts. Shoot. The lines are growing increasingly static. Okay, so we're just basically taking a bunch of negative hits. Oh yeah, black market trading. So this is hurting our factory output. I guess let's get rid of it. Alright. Alright! Whoa, what are you doing? Why are you turning around, 11th? Come on, angels. To Dodoma. You'll be angels, liberating the slaves under German dominion. Okay, we're moving. Wait, am I able to send more volunteers? I forget. Oh, I don't even have them all out. Let's fix that. Let's assign one of ours here. Hey, you know that whole Hobite Christmas thing didn't happen. Also, goodbye, sweet darling. Hello, Cape Town. Okay. Good. Yeah, definitely. This is hugely as a result of my this is definitely due to the work I was able to do with these airborne troops. Air assault, baby. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. All right, you come over here to Tobra, and then down to Wenzo. Brian Wilson is retired from touring. What happens when you get too big for his own good? Somebody was a Beach Boys fan in the development team. That's what I'm getting. I need to listen to some of the Beach Boys though. I never really paid them much attention, but apparently there was like a real experimental phase they went through I didn't know about. I'll have to check that out sometime. Africa Child offers a ceasefire. No. Oh, this is from Germany itself. They're the ones who are proposing the ceasefire. Oh shoot, tanks! They're everywhere! Ah! Africa Shield, no, we will fight on. So this time it was Central Africa offering it. No. We will never surrender, because that's what it is. It's a freaking surrender they're trying to get us to do. Okay, let's get you guys crushing this. Just keep finding spaces to push forward. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pivot. We're gonna pivot west. Good, the bogged down front's no longer affecting us. And then come over here to Dodoma. You know, South Africa, if you could just advance north, that'd be great. They're probably dealing with resistance issues. But yeah, they got so many divisions, and the front's only getting smaller. So fantastic stuff. Let's come over here. We're going to let these 2 divisions walk by us and then come down here. And I think we actually, yeah, these 2 tiles actually connect, so we can kind of get around the lake here. Put a little sneaky on them. There's a Siberian workers' revolt. Excuse me, Serbian. What's going on? Peace conference of some kind somewhere? Triumph in South Africa! Yes, we have Dildum. So ends Huttug's reign of terror. It is official. Africa is free. The Organization of Free Nations has emerged victorious in its fight against the Africa Shield, crushing the 3 Nazi Reichskommissariats that tried to tear a democratic South Africa apart and expand their fascist ideology over all Africa. 4 days before inauguration. Wow. President John W. McCormick spoke to the nation from the Oval Office to announce the victory and that America's brave boys will be returning home as soon as humanly possible. Even as the first chartered Pan Am flights touched down at airports across the eastern seaboard, crowds of thousands filled terminals and parking lots, waving flags, singing the national anthem, and cheered heartwarming scenes of tired soldiers hugging and kissing their young wives and children, snapped by photographers to be shared in newspapers and preserved for eternity. The Secretary of Defense has announced plans to hold a military parade in Washington, D.C. to honor the returned veterans that, quote, saved a continent from barbarity and slavery. With the defeat of the Nazis in Africa, now comes the long and tough work to rebuild half a continent for a bright and democratic future. War crimes trials will be held to try the captured SS and Wehrmacht soldiers as well as the Boer regulars that caused so much death and destruction. New nations will be set up to allow the people of Africa to make their own destiny, and fully supported and rebuilt by American money and technical expertise. And of course, millions of people, former slaves, war amputees, orphans, the hungry and sick, will have to be cared for in Africa, as will our own troops who have seen bloody battles and gruesome deeds that few believe humans are capable of. But that's tomorrow's job. Today, we celebrate the victory over Nazism and that our brave men and women are coming home. The dark continent no more. You know what? I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'd rather not say what time of day it is here in El Paso, Texas, but you know I got the day off, and this is a big moment. This was quite an endeavor, so we're gonna toast to it. So ASMR pour. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and grab your own. Pause this if you want, but cheers, everybody. I'm going with some bourbon if anyone's curious. That's usually my go-to. Maybe I should have done scotch for this. Oh well. So, the Dark Continent no more. We're going to get 5 stability, 5 war support, 150 political power. Organization of Free Nations will grow more unified. Discontent with the war will fall by a lot. Change in the tree, liberal democracy plus 5%, authoritarian democracy minus 5%. The authoritarian democracy is the far-right MPP, by the way. So yeah, the far-right MPP under George Wallace is basically just getting destroyed right now. Although, yeah, right now it's exactly a 50-50 split. That's really fitting, I think. So we have some new decisions available. The African Nightmare. We have won a great victory for first off, let's actually see what we got here. So we have the Coalition Government of Angola, Organization of Free Nations. Of course, yeah, I sure hope everybody's in the Organization of Free Nations, after all I just did. So we have the Organization of Free Nations over here, under John Lavelle. There's the Provisional Government of the Congo, under Crichton Abrams Jr., and we have William Westmoreland himself in charge of the East African Interim Unity Government. Let's actually read these. Home to some of the fiercest fighting of the war, that what happened in Quilomane, that's one way to put it. East Africa has been a constant thorn in the side of its leaders since the establishment of the Reichskommissariat. First Hans Huttig, now General Westmoreland. The East African Mandate is hardly a state at all. Hastily established as the Ostafrika SS collapsed during the American offensive. The unstable interim state must now contend with the rebels who managed to survive the brutal repression of the Huttig regime, the most hardened, brutal, and determined people on the continent. General William Westmoreland, widely hailed in the American press for his triumph over the initial Shield offensive and later equally reviled for his controversial strategy of attrition, is the only man for the job. Making heavy use of American advantage in bombers and artillery, Westmoreland met with great success on the battlefield and great opposition from the home front, and the brutal repression deemed necessary to keep East Africa under control has only made things worse. With the last of the SS defeated or driven underground, Westmoreland now finds himself in the unenviable position of trying to de-escalate conflict on a battlefield won by escalation. Superior fire means little now that the enemy can simply melt away into the jungle when faced with superior force. A man of war tasked with bringing peace, Westmoreland is in a race against time to defeat the insurgency and stabilize East Africa before little goodwill left at home runs out. Okay, so Abrams, this is an Englishman. Or no, he was from England, I should say. He fought in England. He won acclaim and renown for his actions in the disastrous intervention in England. Now he only finds scorn and resentment. There's no glory in this war. Any victory would be cheap consolation for the thousands of lives lost. As the papers back at home shout for their boys to come home, General Abrams must decide how to best leave America's mark on the region before the inevitable return home. We got John Lavelle here. In some ways, he has the easiest job. There are less radicalized rebel warlords, but the ease of ruling also leads to greater expectations. Okay. Facing down both Angolan factions and overblown expectations of Congress, Lavelle will have to use all of his diplomatic skill to bring Angola to its full potential. So, I don't think they have... Oh, they do have focus trees. That's really interesting. You know what? I think we're going to make a save file in case I ever want to maybe like do a live stream where I'm playing as them. That could be interesting. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. That could be interesting. So we got a new research slot. Hold on a second. Okay, way too ahead of time for some of this stuff. I guess let's just improve our... Then again, I don't even know how much more war we're going to do now. But whatever. The boys are coming back home. So we got a bunch of new stuff here. The African Nightmare. We have won a great victory for democracy in South Africa, but our war is far from finished. While the German army is defeated, remnants of their forces still fight on. In addition, many local warlords have established their own forces and would like nothing better than to expel us from their lands. Victory in Africa means nothing if we cannot stabilize the continent. Some of our officers have suggested continuing our strategy of attrition, using overwhelming firepower and superior tactics to eliminate as many rebels that we can while minimizing our own losses. However, diplomatic officials have suggested using a softer touch to win over the natives, which they claim will stabilize the continent better in the long term. Whichever approach we take, the public demands that our young men return home soon and leave a stable continent behind. If we fail to satisfy the public, we will surely suffer at the polls. Our current investment is low. So we could like send equipment to help them fight, build up the government. There's a lot of stuff to do here. Why don't you build up the government? Yeah. Okay, domestic situation. So the war in Africa has been won, but now that Windhoek and Quilmaine lie in our hands, and the old... Okay, basically, the insurgency's got to be brought to heel before we can leave. Domestic discontent is currently non-existent. Stability for the mandates is 0.7 for Southwest Africa, 0.85 for Central Africa, 0.6 for East Africa. The higher the stability of the mandates when we pull out, the less the backlash will be at home. So we can just pull out anytime, instantly. We're going to deselect that. Not going to happen anytime soon. I wish I knew what, like, the cap was. Oh, yeah, and so, like, there was allegedly the Senate race thing. Like, it was... Yeah, it's the same. It didn't change. The election thing. And so in a few days here, we're going to have the inauguration. So we're going to let Bobby come in, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do. The end of the South African War. The most controversial and significant international conflict since the Second World War, the South African War has now seemingly come to an end with the total collapse of the German regimes in Africa. It is a collapse which can only be described as utter chaos, with thousands of German soldiers surrendering en masse to OFN forces, native SS divisions entering open revolt, and several high-ranking German generals taken prisoner. What comes next for the former German territories remains unclear, with no definitive post-war OFN policy having been made public. While OFN commanders and policymakers celebrate the most significant and decisive defeat of Nazi forces in history, the alliance now finds itself occupying vast and volatile territory, with early reports suggesting that local German administrations have so far been largely kept in place. Peace at last! Peace at last. Oh, we could just, like, unite everybody together if we wanted. That's interesting. We'll keep it separate, though, because I already read the people. If I hadn't done that, I might have just unified it all. There were many who claimed it was a pointless war. We discovered deplorable conditions. Disease and famine were common. The regimes cared little for their people. We've taken administrative control. Yeah, we're just gonna have them separate for stability. Because I already read things, so let's see how they each do. Let's see who's the losers, right? Establishment of the African mandates. We transitioned to civil affairs. We're deliberating. The only question is whether he'd be in the field or he'd be recalled home to serve as a liaison for OF Command. Wait. The officer corps of the South African War was still needed. So basically, who do I want to send help to first to get so they'll get a boost of political power? Well, Westmoreland, it already looks like his legacy is going to be a little bit better out here than it was in real life. So let's try to keep that up. We're going to send him to East Africa. I think he probably needs the political power the most because it's the least stable area. Okay. So let's... Did I just lose a bunch of political power or something? So we have East African warlordism that we're dealing with. Oh, no. We just became them. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on a second. Okay, we're back. My bad. I didn't read it right. So duty calls from Washington D.C. We're not gonna head out there ourselves, but that's good to know for whenever I wanna, if I want to do like a live stream of that. So Inauguration Days tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna happen like at noon exactly, or what? Like when's Bobby gonna take over? What's happening here? Shouldn't Bobby be in charge by now? Something's not right. There it is. Inauguration Day. It was just a day off. Well, actually, kind of depends. Never mind. The American people have spoken. They want justice over nepotism and peace over chaos. By the powers granted to me by our holy constitution. Holy Constitution. Okay. I promise to legislate and implement an act that will unite America. No longer shall we be divided between black and white, man and woman. The America tomorrow will be one where each and every one of us will do our parts to bring our great nation into the future. God bless America. Robert F. Kennedy's speech was testament to his late brother's legacy and his final project, implementing a law to stop segregation, and dedicated his term to that cause. The question remains, will he be able to do it? Tensions in America are larger than in a long time, and his presidency is predicated on the cooperation with the far-right faction, ardent segregationists and not known for playing nice. Good luck, Kennedy. You will need it. Hail to the chief. And there he is, Bobby himself. Robert F. Kennedy inaugurated as President of the United States. For the first time in nearly a century, neither a Democrat nor a Republican will hold the White House. Robert F. Kennedy, from the center wing of the National Progressive Party, today clinched a narrow victory over the Republican Democrats to become the next president. In his acceptance speech, Kennedy earnestly thanked the American people for putting their trust in him and promised that he would prove that this trust was well placed. The brother of former President John F. Kennedy, Bobby has vowed to honor his brother's legacy by championing the cause of civil rights even further, and to address the issues of poverty and income inequality to create a better and fairer America for everyone. Cynics believe him to be too bold and idealistic to succeed, but millions of Americans earnestly believe him to be the man who can change America. Third time's the charm. Let's see what this Kennedy can do. Okay, let's read his bio. Robert Francis Kennedy certainly didn't grow up in an impoverished family. Part of the Kennedy dynasty of businessmen and politicians, his childhood was a privileged one. He grew up in suburban Massachusetts, one of 9 children in a profoundly American family, and was raised to appreciate their Irish and Catholic heritage. Living through the Great Depression for most of his childhood, he witnessed his countrymen face impoverishment as they never had before. Going to attend Catholic schools across New England, Kennedy decided to serve in the Navy after the tragic death of his brother Joseph in 1943. Kennedy would serve his country in the Atlantic and the Caribbean, and with his relatively short service in the armed forces having a profound influence on his life and his decision to enter politics. Following an honorable discharge, RFK entered journalism school, particularly interested in welfare and social programs designed to help the unfortunate. He was in attendance at the peace conference between the United States and Japan, and after the war visited Sweden to write about their extensive welfare programs. When his brother, John F. Kennedy, emerged as the running mate to Richard Nixon, Robert quickly proved his political acumen to the extent that his brother would say that if I need something done and done quick, I go to Bobby. Tragedy would strike soon after. JFK's assassination not only broke Robert's heart, the death of his beloved brother severed any remaining ties to the RDs, whose president had vetoed the Civil Rights Act. Disillusioned with partisan politics, RFK decided to join the National Progressive Party, determined to make the American dream possible for all of his countrymen, and was promptly pushed to run for the presidency. Swept into office in 1964, Robert became one of a rare breed. He became the champion of an American idealism seen in few others, someone who believed in hope in a world which possessed very little. Okay, so we got some new focuses. Time for the Kennedy presidency. Election day is coming past. The new heir to one of America's greatest families had blazed a cross-country campaign trail. To the colored man, he promised the rights that had been withheld for decades, that they could live freely and securely in the land of their birth. The results speak for themselves. He has his work cut out for him. Cracks are starting to show in the NPP's United Front, and Republican Democrats from country to state have already pledged to stonewall his legislation. But America's downtrodden now look to him for deliverance, as they once did to his brother. If Jack never quit even in his final seconds, then neither will Bobby. Okay. So it looks like eventually we're going to have to do a pick here between across the aisle or the party above all. And then there's a few other... there's another mutually exclusive thing here. Let's see, we might have like a healthcare system. We've got dealing with like justice and stuff. We really do live in a society. Interesting. War on poverty, safety nets, job corps. Yeah, there's a whole lot to do here, folks. But let's just get down to in memoriam first, I guess. So, what are we gonna do in Africa? We're gonna, you know what? Let's try to build them up. Let's do that first. We're gonna build up the governments so they can get some stability. Oh, we can do multiple things at once. Excellent. Okay, let's more stability. Propaganda. We can send in advisors. This will increase our investment in Africa by a large margin. This will help the mandates fight the rebels. Maybe. Let's implement protect the people tactics. We don't have the infantry equipment to do this, apparently. Excuse me? I know we're short on tanks. Where's all of our infantry equipment? What the heck? How long is that going to take for us to fill it up? 156 days. Okay, it's not so bad. And we're not at war anymore. We can also pick some ministers. Actually, no, we can't. Never mind. Whatever. Decisions are where the fun's at. Unrestrained troops. This will increase our investment in Africa. This will help them fight the rebels. This is also a stability one. Expand the outreach programs. Yeah. Authorize napalm use. Maybe. Ship over arms. Yeah, we just don't have the infantry equipment to do some of this stuff. So let's just do the things that we can. That's it. We're out. We're done. So some of this stuff we can't do more than once. So between all of these things, though, their stability should go up a fair amount. We just got to trust the AI to get its head out of its ass, I guess. But yeah, domestic situation. There will be no pull out. Okay, the boys are coming home. As the address from the White House ends, so too does the first major conflict between the U.S. and a major power for the first time in nearly 2 decades. The housewife of a military man, having heard that her husband will indeed be coming home, screeches in delight as her neighbor, having only received her flag for her decease the day before, stares at the television in a broken stupor. Ooh, time for another sip of bourbon. College students put aside their protest placards and megaphones for the day, choosing instead the bottle and the blunt for a day basking in the fruit of their success. Know that feel. Or the unstated delight that they will not be called up anytime soon. The draftees in boot camp continue to curse their fate, and their drill sergeants, but a tad quieter, relieved that their service might be a peaceful one. In the Pentagon, planners quietly vacate their desks for a longer than usual smoke break, their immediate work mercifully concluded. Concluded, that is, till the inevitable orders come to prepare for the soldiers' return. And in the White House, the president receives another briefing, their thoughts unknowable beneath this facade of practiced calm. Across America, the nation welcomes the first day after the South African War. Tomorrow, America will grieve the dead and embrace its returning heroes, and start coming to terms with the horrors of the war in the Veld and its consequences. Another generation defining our war. Let's get Maxwell Taylor in there. Okay, these guys are still training. West Siberian People's Republic has declared war. Okay. What is going on out here? Samara and the Aryan Brotherhood are fighting. Aryan Brotherhood might actually win. Wow. How about that? Cheetah's looking large under Mikhail II. Vyatkas might be gone, but there's still pretend czars out there in the world. Okay, let's close that. Okay, now it's letting me do stuff. Let's send in advisors. We're really going to be investing heavily in this to try to get it going. How long is it going to take? Gosh, we are so freaking short on these tanks. It's crazy. The M60 Clark. That is what I'm building, right? Oh yeah, let's lower military spending and increase the civilian spending, by the way. We're still working on these civilian factories, apparently. New president, new America. Robert F. Kennedy had spent years devoted to his work, allowing himself few pleasures. So he thought it only fair that after being Inaugurated President of the United States, he allowed himself a night of overindulgence with a bottle of Malbec and his beautiful wife. Cheers, bro. And that's all mine. Unfortunately, the pleasures of yesterday pale in the light of dawn. Hungover, stomach lurching, the new president plastered a smile onto his face as he mounted the podium in the White House press room to give his first speech to the nation. My fellow Americans, it is with great pride I come before you today as your president. To have put your trust in me as you did my father and my brother before me does me a great honor. He stifled a sudden burst of melancholy at the thought of Jack, forcing himself to carry on. Now that I am your president, I may finally address the issues our nation faces today. Rampant inequality, political instability, growing isolationism on the world stage. It is no secret that we live in turbulent times. Some might say we live in a society. So he took a breath. But together we can move past them. I believe in an America with rights for all of her people, regardless of their race. An America purged of the injustice and inequality that ought to have remained in the previous century. An America taking her rightful place as a force for global good. This is my dream. I would like to make it your dream as well. I hereby pledge before the country I love so dear that I will reform this great nation of ours. Together, as Americans, we may face anything. And so on. It seemed to have a strong impact on the press, though Kennedy, as he left the podium, thought Kennedy as he left the podium. He can only hope that after Nixon's duplicity, the people were ready to believe in their president again. To believe in a better tomorrow. Our light shall burn the pathway to the stars. And we got more political power, which we're gonna spend. Okay. Next up, what have we got here? These both are just gonna take like a week or a little over a week. A little bit of stability, some duct tape, whatever. Okay, one foot in front of the other. What's this? What does this mean? We need to undertake a task to figure out where we're gonna go in the next 4 years. Okay. Well, I'm glad it only takes a week then. We defeat the DeWilliger Brigade. Wait, did I click the right slot? Let me make sure. Land Doctrine's all finished up. Like, I don't really see... I'm not sure what other wars I'm even going to get involved in. Maybe if Indonesia happens, but I don't know if I'll be allowed to send volunteers. We don't need more resource extraction. We got more than enough already. I'm really stuck. I don't have a clue what I want to do next. All of our plane stuff's already pretty filled up. Yeah, we're all caught up on that. I don't know. Logistics or something, whatever. Oh, we can recruit a new operative now. That's nice. Charles Mabry. Yeah, we got a lot of guys that aren't doing anything now. I guess one of you go build some intel out there in Germania. The Iron Glove. We're going with Hendra Andrews Murky, a liberator of nearly 513 men who had suffered in the Bataan Death Mart and then imprisoned in the Cabanutan prison camp, and the recipient of 2 Bronze Stars, a Purple Heart, a Distinguished Service Cross. His identity as an Italian-American, the first ever appointed to the cabinet, and a Roman Catholic makes him popular with both groups, who have roundly praised President Kennedy's choice. Though Mucci has expressed a moderate and calm opinion on domestic matters, his stance on international fascism, especially the people who were responsible for the atrocities in the Philippines, is as stern and harsh as ever. The memories of the cruelty of those who deny the freedoms of man remain fresh in his mind, and he's not likely to forget them. Speak softly and get a fierce, carry a big stick. So let's get some intel going on in Tokyo, I guess, and who else is not doing anything? You. Let's have you go. I don't even freaking know. I don't know, Italy or something? Just go do something. Okay, figuring it all out. The past 4 years has wreaked a terrible toll upon the United States and our institutions. Fear for the future runs rampant, yet distrust for those oath sworn to lead this nation through it grows with each scandal. So we're just trying to... Let's be better, people. We're be better. But that's it for today. Thank you very much. I'm Conquering History Games. I'll see you in the next episode when we're going to get into the meat of the Robert Kennedy presidency. We're gonna keep investing in Africa. Our investment itself is actually really low. We haven't done any of this stuff to actually help that out too much. But if I could, you know what? Let me look at the construction here real quick. Are the military factories actually being built? Okay, we're up to 8. Yeah. So they are physically getting built, and we're still working on the infrastructure. Lots of areas still not done. But I'm Conquering History Games, and I'll see you all next time. I'll try to remember to update the thumbnail too.